This is JoJo Fan 2001 with a decade recap. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years since the start of the 2010s, and we are barely 10% into the 2020s. So let's look back on this decade, more specifically 2010 to 2019. This is the first part of a miniseries of videos focusing on the 2010s decade. It will conclude with how I think it will be remembered. The major event that started this year was an earthquake that struck Haiti on January 12th and killed over 200,000 people. Another one struck Chile and killed 525 people, and also trapped 33 miners, who were eventually saved. Volcanoes also erupted in Iceland. Also, that 1st January, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, hosted the Winter Olympics and Canada won. America also passed the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare. This year also saw the worst environmental disaster in U.S. history. That April 20th, the Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded in the Gulf of Mexico and killed 11 workers. It leaked oil for 87 days before being sealed on September 19th. Just recently, it has been estimated that the spill is worse than previously expected. There was also a debate about a mosque being built at Ground Zero. That December saw the start of the Arab Spring. The main movies of the year were arguably Toy Story 3, Tangled, Iron Man 2, The Social Network, How to Train Your Dragon, and The King's Speech. YouTube's highlights that year included The Annoying Orange, This Was Still When The Annoying Orange Was Good and Relevant, and web animations like Ed's World, for example. Some of the biggest memes of the year included the Bed Intruder, the Double Rainbow, and ICP on magnets. This was the year that I was introduced to YouTube, so I'll give it extra attention. I was also reintroduced back into LEGO. I watched a lot of brick films and reviews, mainly from Gearhead the Man and B. Squagglehouse. This was the year of the Arab Spring and the start of the Syrian Civil War. Also that year, America withdrew troops from Iraq after 8 years of fighting. That January, a gunman killed 6 people at a supermarket parking lot in Tucson. They include federal judge John Roll and 9-year-old Christina Taylor Greene, who was one of the Hope babies born on 9/11. The main target was House Representative Gabrielle Giffords. She was shot but survived. She later became an advocate for gun control. On March 11th, an earthquake and tsunami struck Japan. It killed over 15,000 people and caused a meltdown at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. This disaster became the most costless disaster in history, at $360 billion US. That May, the US conducted an operation that killed Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. That July, a series of attacks in Norway left 77 people dead, 8 in a car bombing in Oslo, and 69 during a shooting at a youth camp on the island of Utøya. Also that month, the space shuttle program ended after 30 years. That September, the Occupy Wall Street movement occurred in response to the Great Recession of 2008. Major movies of the year include the independent film Drive, Thor, and the conclusion of the Harry Potter franchise. Somehow, Disney and Pixar managed to hit some all-time lows for their movies with Cars 2 and Mars Needs Moms. The biggest games of the year were Angry Birds and Minecraft. back when they were still popular. The biggest meme this year was Nyan Cat. Rebecca Black's song Friday didn't go well with audiences. This was also the year of planking and Charlie Sheen's winning. Other memes were Not Sure If, Do a Barrel Roll, and I Took an Arrow to the Knee. This year started to suck for my personal life. That March, a black kid named Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman, who was later acquitted. London hosted the Olympic Games in which the United States won. On September 11th of that year, 4 Americans were killed in Benghazi, Libya. That October, Austrian daredevil Felix Baumgartner jumped 39 kilometers, or 24 miles, into the stratosphere above New Mexico. He broke the sound barrier, becoming the first human to do it without a machine. Also that month, Superstorm Sandy struck the east coast of North America, mainly affecting New York City and killing 285 people. Barack Obama won a second term as President of the United States and beat Utah Senator Mitt Romney. This could be the year that the U.S. saw a rise in mass shootings. That July, a man killed 12 people during a midnight premiere of The Dark Knight Rises in Aurora, Colorado. That August, a man killed 6 people before taking his own life at a Sikh temple in Wisconsin. And finally, on December 14th in Newtown, Connecticut, a man killed 20 children and 6 staff members and his own mother before taking his own life in the St. Hook shooting. This is the shooting that some people think was fake and the one that reignited the gun control debate. A week after that, the world was supposedly going to end, according to the Mayans, but it was just superstition. Movies of that year include the first Wreck-It Ralph movie, Zero Dark 30, Django Unchained, the aforementioned The Dark Knight Rises, and the first Captain America movie, as well as the first Avengers movie. Back before Disney bought Marvel. This is also the year that they did purchase Lucasfilm, however. This was the year that gave us the memes Bad Luck Brian, Grumpy Cat, Irma Gerd, and Dog Shaming. This year saw Gangnam Style by South Korean artist Psy, the most viewed video on YouTube at that time. This year also saw Kony 2012, a campaign meant to raise awareness that became a passing fad that was swept aside by Gangnam Style. I already did a video on Kony 2012 to mark that video's 5th year anniversary, and Kony 2012 is still on YouTube, even though it was meant to expire at the end of 2012. Speaking of which, this will do it for this part of the video series. Until then, this is G.I. Joe Fan 2001, wishing that you would stay safe, and I'll see you soon in the next part of the series.